You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. Now let's talk.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop on the road of life. You can't stop. You can't stop moving. Keep move. Keep that pace. You switching to gear. Let's go as we climb up the hill. Don't slow down. Pedal a little more. The mind is working. It's in control. Your wheels are turning a little more. Going higher another notch. Keep it steady. Don't watch the clock go round, cycle.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody on Let's Talk Sunday? This is ADI, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And you are tuned in to Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. You know us extraordinary folk doing a damn thing the best way we can. Yes. And welcome, guys. Welcome to the new listeners out there. And welcome to my diehard listeners. You just been here from the beginning. You dip back in, you dip out. But you always keep up with these shows. And I'm so grateful for all you guys, new and my veterans. You know, I'm not going to say old. I'm going to say my veteran listeners. I thank you guys. I do this for y'all and myself as a reminder, okay? So if you're new to the show, I just basically talk about real life situations, real life stuff that we go through here in this time, space, and reality, and different ways we can look at the different things that we face in a different light, from a different angle, from a different perspective. And hopefully you will start to think differently so that it can make changes in your life in a positive way. That is my goal. That is my purpose in this life. Thank God I have finally figured out one of my main purposes. So guys, yes, let's get right down to it. The topic of today is when you don't know who you are, you become everyone else. When you don't know who you are, you become everyone else. Yeah, guys. I mean, I think that it's fair to say at some point in all of our lives, we might have slipped a little bit. You know, and what I want to say by that is, you know, as you're growing up, you finding your way. You're trying new things. You're doing new things. You know, some work, some don't. You're in and out of different relationships. And when I say relationships, I don't just mean intimate. I mean friendships. You know, even with your family, you know, you can have a bunch of cousins like I do. And one year you're closer with this cousin, and next year you're closer with that cousin. I mean, it's so many different things that will take root in our identity if we don't be careful, you know. And I mean that in a positive light, you know. When I say if we don't be careful, if we don't nurture our identity, and we don't recognize the power that we possess within us, the individuality, the uniqueness that we hold, that God has created us to be individually, we can get caught up, y'all. We can become a little bit of everyone else, everything else around us. We can start to live a life that appeases everyone just so we can be accepted, so we can feel accepted, so we can feel a fake sense of value and worth. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me dig a little bit deeper. Just listen up, hear me out. Okay, let's go back to the high school years. Okay, we're in high school. Now, sometimes when you go through high school, that first year, you looking at everybody and you're observing, the cool kids, the kids that quiet kids, the kids that maybe some people might call weird just because they're different than what you normally see, and you are wanting to know, like, okay, what group should I roll with? Let's say it that way. What group should I roll with? And at that point, you are figuring out who you really are. 1 minute you might be an introvert. My son was an introvert and he slowly became an extrovert, as the years went along. Me, I just always been out there. From the gate, my mom was like, I was just bossy, like, what's that girl, Khalees? I was bossy. And I always had a sense of who I was and pretty much what I wanted out of life. But once I became a teenager, again, I went into high school knowing that I was different from the people in my neighborhood. They wanted to dress one way and I wanted to dress another. I just wanted to be different. I didn't want to wear what everybody else was wearing. I wasn't into the big jewelry and things of that nature. I was into costume jewelry. I was just into different things. And so when I went to performing arts, that was just right up my alley because everybody in that school basically was into different things. Yes, you did have the so-called fly girls that wore what everybody else was wearing, that was trending at that time in the 80s. Yes, I'm telling my age. I'm proud of it. In the 80s, you had that group that wanted to look like everybody else, but I was comfortable in my skin. I really was. I think that when I started, getting serious in a relationship, that I kind of lost a sense of direction. I think that when you're young and you get involved in relationships before you totally figure out and you are set on, this is who I am, I'm comfortable with it, and whoever doesn't like it, kick rocks. Because you have so much peer pressure surrounding you from school, from the neighborhood, from your family values, what they want from you. So many different people are chiming in as to who you are, who they label you to be, who they think you should be, how they think you should act. And if it's not them, then because you're still working on who you are, you just look around and you're like, oh, this is how I should act because this is how everybody else is acting, or this is how I should dress because this is how everybody looks on the videos, and this is how everybody looks in my neighborhood, so this is how I should dress. This is how I should talk because this is how everybody else talks where I'm from. This is how everybody else talks, so this is how I should talk. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, to be fair, I think it's a healthy growth state that we all have to go through as we are coming up in life to figure out where we belong. Or not even figure out where we belong, but to create our own lane and be comfortable with it. Be comfortable with the fact that as you're growing up, you're going to have some hiccups along the way. You're going to make a few bad decisions. You're going to date a few people that was not a good idea to date. You're going to do some things that wasn't a good idea to do. But you have to get to the point that you release all of that and realize that, okay, that's not me. That is just a part of my experience. That is a part of my growth. That is a part of me getting to know who I am, getting to know the things I like, the people I like to be around, the people that makes me feel good about me, being comfortable in my own skin and not judging what I am, what I do, where I go, you know what I mean? This is where we all need to get to. And sadly to say, even though a lot of us are adults out here, some of us still are kind of wandering around like, who am I? Who am I? What is it that I really like to do? What is it that I really want out of life? Some people go to their grave never knowing who they are, never knowing their purpose in life. And if you've been following this show, these are the topics that I talk about because the mission is for us to figure out who we truly are and the powers that we possess within us, the value, the worth that we have, so that we can teach people the correct way to treat us, okay? Because when we don't know who we are, we will allow people to treat us any kind of way. We will allow people to set their own agenda as to how we fit into their life, and especially when we have love for people, it becomes a little bit more of a challenge for us to say, no, this is what I want. This is who I am. This is my worth. This is my value. And if you don't see that, if you don't honor that, if you can't respect that, then I just have to keep it moving, And that can mean when it comes to anybody, family, friends, co-workers, your boss. You should never allow anybody to treat you the way you don't want to be treated. You should never allow people to continually disrespect you and dishonor you and your worth. You should never allow that. Although we do, because we're human. It's fair to say we're all human out here, and, sometimes we can get attached to people, and this is why we will allow people to treat us certain ways when we know that that's not what we want. When we know that we want more for ourselves, we know that we expect more from that person, rather it be, again, family, friend, co-worker, whatever. And when I say expect more from that person, I mean, I'm not talking on no like diva, nothing like that. I'm just talking on some common ground stuff. You state how you feel about a thing or about yourself or what you want out of life. And some people get it and some people don't. And those who do, if you're smart, those are the people you run with. Those who don't, you can still deal with them, but limit your time. Because after a while, you'll become a part of them. You get what I'm saying? Even when it comes to labels, titles, titles from your past. For a perfect example, when I was young, there was no ADHD or at least I didn't know about it, but I really feel like I got adult ADHD because I just can't keep still. And I got to do too many things at one time to be sane. But my son, I shared with y'all before that my son was diagnosed with ADHD when he was 8. And I decided that, no, he's not. He's not going to wear that label. And I decided that I was going to invest more energy into him and let him decide the things that he wants to do in life, trying different things out. And 1 minute he wanted to be on the baseball team, then he was on the basketball team, then he wanted to play the piano. Then I allowed him to find himself. Just as my mother did me. She was very supportive of me when I was younger and still now when it comes to my talents and my gifts. She pretty much, I said, look, Mom, I want to be on a track team. I want to be on basketball. I was on volleyball. I was doing the most, okay? Then I wanted to be a model. I wanted to dance. But I just brought her the paperwork. She let me go ahead and figure it out. And I think that's the healthy way that we all should go about life. We should all try new things. And I'm using the word try now, but this is in a positive sense. We should all try new things so that we can see what it is that we really like to do. Don't say, no, I don't like this. I don't like that food. I don't like to do this. And you never even tried. You never even experienced what it is that you're saying that you don't like to do. Why? Because maybe your family environment or your neighborhood, these are the things that they're not used to doing. It's not cool to do certain things that other people do. That's corny or whatever. Like say, you grow up in a suburban area, and let me think. Man, this is hard. Okay, you grow up in a suburban area, and you are scared to drive through the so-called hood. I don't think the hood is the hood. I just think that the hood is just filled with people that don't realize that there's more in life for them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they financially feel like they're stuck, but in reality, no one's ever stuck. It's just a mentality, But getting back to a person that's from a suburban area, because they're from this suburban area and it's all they grew up around, some people from a suburban area think it's a scary thing to ride through a hood when it's really not. It's scary being in a suburban neighborhood because sometimes you got somebody right next door that just as crazy as somebody in the hood that decides to go to the school and shoot up the school because they was in the room playing games all day and their parents was getting money so much they wasn't paying them no mind, and because they didn't get the attention or maybe they was bullied in school, they lost their mind and went and shot up the school. Now listen, don't come for me. I'm just using examples, okay? This is what I've seen on the media. And then you take somebody in a so-called urban area. Did I say suburban? I hope I said suburban. Okay, the first area was suburban, more, I guess, upper class, if you want to say it that way. And then urban area, the hood, so-called. You take somebody from there, and then for some reason, they are scared to ride through a suburban area because they have this mentality that, the cops might get them or something might happen that, it's just a bunch of hogwash, as they say, at the end of the day. But it all trickles down to us not knowing who we really are, not knowing our true value, not knowing that this is a world that God has created for all of us to go anywhere we want at any time we want to experience every part, every corner, every nook and cranny of this world anytime we want to. But again, when we don't know who we are, we become a part of everybody else or everyone else that we are surrounded by. And we miss out on life. We miss out on people. We miss out on meeting new people and trying new things. And why is my son calling? He must be forgetting that the podcast is one today. But we miss out on creating new friendships, new relationships, and learning more about who we really are. Opening up little different channels within us because we're around a new environment. We're around new people. We're around people that know more than we know. And vice versa. When we think we know a whole lot because we come from an environment that's all about education, and we don't go and get with people from a different neighborhood that maybe don't have all the book smarts, but they have the street smarts, we're still missing out. We're still missing out. I believe that you have to have a balance in order to appreciate people and appreciate the world and how everything is evolving around us. I really believe that I wouldn't change my life, my journey for nothing. I'm so grateful to God that I grew up in a so-called hood urban area. I'm so grateful that God started me there so that as I moved around from different cities and states, I was able to see the difference everywhere I went. The difference in the environment, the difference in people, the difference in the way people do things, the way they talk, the way people embrace each other, the way people respect each other and honor each other. All of this came from me setting out to go to a different environment, to not be, to be fearless, and not allow myself to fall victim to everyone else. My surroundings, where I grew up, and what everybody else thinks about venturing out of the comfort zone, should I say that way. There's so many people that's stuck in a comfort zone that's the reason why they are a part of everyone else. You are a part of everyone else when you just want to do what everyone else does. You want to dress like everyone else do. When I buy things because this is what I like. Not because everyone else is wearing it, or not because everyone else is wearing it in a certain way. And I'm grateful to God that I'm like that, because that allows me to keep the uniqueness about me, when you're young and you're in school and teachers, I have a loved one, and I know when they listen to the show, they're going to know I'm talking about them. But I have a loved one that when they were, in school, they were younger, they had dyslexia. And, it was mistaken for being slow or whatever like that. And they had to go be in a retarded class. And therefore, they started believing in their mindset that there was something wrong with them, when all along it wasn't. And even people that's in the retarded class, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that when adults or society don't understand you. They don't understand how you think. You're not thinking the way the so-called normal folks are. They want to put a label on you. They want to put a title on you. They want to diagnose you with a problem or an issue. And then you just take it and you believe it. And then you start living your life according to that label or that title that someone that doesn't even know you, that haven't even spent a full day with you, put on you. A doctor. A doctor that is human, that can make mistakes and misdiagnose you. There are so many people that die because they were misdiagnosed and given the wrong medication. Guys, this is real. And I know y'all probably like, okay, this is off topic. No, it's not. It's still a part of the issue, because that is how a lot of times we become a part of everyone else, because someone told us who we are and we believed it. We stopped working at figuring out our own identity because somebody else put a label on us. Somebody else put a title on us. You know, you, in your past, you might have slept around or, sold drugs or whatever you did that, or was on drugs, or just something that you feel like you're ashamed of. But you did it because, again, you didn't know who you were. You didn't know your value. You didn't know your worth. So therefore, you started doing what your closest friends were doing. Or you just started sleeping around thinking of that, that this guy is going to love you because, you're going to have sex with them. Or this girl, she is so infatuated with you because she want to give you some. Because you're filling a void. All because you don't know who you are. You don't know your value. You don't know your worth. So therefore, you are looking for other people to validate you in any way they can. If it's not other people, then it's vices, it's things, it's habits that you pick up along the way, rather it be drugs, smoking, drinking, to feed that void, to allow you to feel good for that moment, because you're stuck. In your head, you're stuck, but you're really not. You're really not. You feel maybe overwhelmed because you really don't know who you are. But if you take a moment and be still and go deep within inside of you, get away from the noise. Get away from the chaos all around you. You might have to cut some cords, cut some folk off that's constantly pulling at your energy, that's being energy vampires. You might have to, as much as it might hurt you, you might have to cut them so that you can focus on you and figure out who you are and where is your place in this time, space, reality. What is your purpose? What is your assignment? What are you supposed to be doing with your life? Because all of us have something important that we are supposed to be doing with our life. Now, don't think that I'm saying, everybody need to be a Martin Luther King or, an Obama or whatever. I'm saying to you that it doesn't matter where you start. It matters how you finish. I don't know if y'all all know, but George Washington, that was the president, he didn't even finish school. He grew up, his family was poor. But at a young age, he knew deep within inside him that he didn't like what was going on, and therefore he decided that he wanted to do more. He figured out his purpose in life and he went after it. You get what I'm saying? And I know I always use current people, but every now and then I like to reach back, and I know that for some of y'all probably like, oh, really? But if he would have believed that because he didn't finish school or he grew up in a poor environment, that he was incapable of being a president, he never would have been a president. This is what I'm saying about, guys. We all have a lot in us. We all have a lot to give. When we stop looking for other people to validate us, when we stop the disbelief in our capabilities, when we stop thinking that we can't have a thing because we're not smart enough, or we think we're not smart enough, because everybody is as smart as they invest in themselves. That's it. That's the bottom line. You are as smart as you invest in yourself, because there are plenty of books out here. We have the internet. And if you feel like you can't read, you can go on the internet and learn how to read. You can watch a video tutorial, whatever. You can learn what you want to learn. You are the only one putting the stipulations on you, if that's what you're doing. You're the only one that's stopping you. You're the only one that's in your way. It's you that's holding you back. No one else. So, guys, we have to start realizing that there is more to us individually. There is more to us than what everybody else sees. Now, me, myself, I always see the potential in people. And that is one of my main strengths. And as a matter of fact, I've been studying numbers and the meaning of numbers. And I realized that I am a number 9. That's another show, another day. But the meaning of being a number 9 soul is someone that sees the potential in everyone else, and their assignment in life is to pull it out of them. When I read that, and this is recently, I'm saying within the last couple months I started learning this stuff, I was like, OMG, this is some real shit right here. Because this is my life. This is how I've always been. I've always been that person that can sit with someone, have a conversation, ask them about their interests, ask them about that, and tell them, yo, this is what you should do. I think that you'll be good at this. I believe that if you believe this can work for you. And most of the time when the people take on those assignments that I told them that I believe that's where their strengths are, it winds up working out for them. Most of the time. And I say most of the time because some people never try. You know what I mean? But, I had to get to a point. If you've been following the show, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection on me. I had to get to a point in my life where, I love so hard. I'm a very giving person. But I'm a person that if you rub me the wrong way, I got patience. I really do. I think I have beyond patience. I think my name should be right next to the word patient in the dictionary at this point in my life. Now, some years ago, no, that would have never happened. But I think because I knew that was my weakness years ago, I prayed so hard for God to give me patience with people and things. And I still pray that every day. Give me patience with people and things. That God constantly tests me with people and things. Be careful what you pray for. But I had to get to the point that, as I'm going through my self-reflection, that I have to be firm. I have to be firm, and what I say is what I mean. Would I tell a person, this is what I want out of life, this is what I want for myself, I stand by it. I mean it. No matter how much I love a person, no matter how much I want a person in my life, whether it be family, friend, relationship, intimate relationship, if I'm not firm with what I want for myself, then why should somebody else be firm to give it to me? Why should somebody else give me what I say that I want for myself from them as it pertains to whatever connection it is? Why should they give it to me? Because I'm flaking. You know what I mean? So my thing is, if you've been following the show, I'm not a materialistic person. I'm not about, a lot of these girls out here, they about getting somebody for their money and all of this, and you got to have a man with a bunch of money and all of this stuff. And I just look at things a different way. I look at life like this. We all create our own wealth the way it's going to go. I look at it like, if I can't have somebody that's a friend first, in my life, it doesn't matter to me what they got going on, because at the end of the day, that's what they got going on, and it's going to go with them when they go. That's what people don't realize. Like, this is just me. I don't get it. I feel like even in these marriages or whatever like that, when they divorce in a big Hollywood world and all this, and they want to take half of what somebody else built and grind it out on their own. Now, when you together and you grinding things out, okay, that's one thing. But if somebody has something that they worked hard at before you even came along, I really think that's unfair that you should come along and be able to take half of that. Take the portion that you were there. You know what I'm saying? Because that was that person coming into their identity and walking in their purpose and their assignment. And because of that, they gain that wealth. They gain those riches. And now here you come along, and you come in at the last quarter, and you think that you should just take half of that? I just don't think that's fair. I know I'm going to get some emails, whatever. This is my opinion and my show, okay? But I truly believe that the reason why relationships, friendships, even family relationships fall out is because you have people coming together that are still unstable as to who they are. They still don't have, I'm just using it as an example. It's not everybody, okay, guys? I'm talking as to those relationships that fall out and all of a sudden it turns real nasty. I think that when people have respect and true love for one another, and they are supportive of one another, then that's when it's like, okay, well, this didn't work. Okay, we're going to go our separate ways, and that's just that. But the reason why a lot of relationships don't work is because people don't know who they are. The reason why you work at a job and you have this coworker that's just hating on you for no reason is because that coworker don't know who they are, and they are envious of you because you know who you are, and you're walking in your worth, you're walking in your value, you are confident in who you are, and it's the same thing like with relationships. When one is confident in who they are and one is a little unbalanced as to who they are, it can cause problems. Especially if one don't know who they are and they are pride and ego driven, and they don't want to take on the support of, their partner as to, let's figure this out together. A lot of times because of our pride and our ego, we never get to figure out who we are, because we're so busy wearing a mask to hide from everybody how we truly feel about ourselves, instead of finding someone that you know you can confide in, someone that you know truly cares for you, and having that conversation. As to, a lot of times people on the outside looking in can see more than you can see, because you're so busy wrapped up dealing with your own shit. They're not dealing with your shit, so they can see what you can't see. Even with my friends, sometimes, I can call up a couple of my friends, and I can talk about a situation and ask them, what do they see out of that situation? Is it something that I'm missing? I even asked my son, he's 21, but he knows me. He knows me. And now that he's older, even when he was younger, he was so mature for his age. But I can ask him. Recently, I kind of had to cut somebody out of my life because of a respect issue. I'm just like, you can be there for a person, but so much. You can, like I said, you could be patient with a person, but so much until it's to the point that it's, it's just flat out disrespectful. This person is used to you allowing them to disrespect you, and, so it kind of hurt, just, this is a close family member, but somewhat I consider family, I'll say that. But when my son, he saw the whole situation from beginning to end, and he knows why I feel disrespected. And he actually witnessed a couple of times the disrespect, and he really was like not feeling it back then. But because he honors his mother and he respects his mother, he went by, we've had conversations about it, and he went by, okay, I guess she knows what she's doing, what she's taking on or whatever. And he was like, okay. But at the point that I said, I had to let this situation go. How do you feel? Do you think I did the right thing? He was like, yes. He didn't even hesitate. He was like, yes, you did, Mom. You did all you could. You was there for that person. You loved that person. You know what I mean? You were kind to that person. So if they can't respect you and they keep disrespecting whenever they feel like it, then hey, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? And so sometimes we need those people, loved ones that really care for us, that we know have respect for us and honor us. For us, not because of what we do for them, not because of what we give them, but they truly love and respect us. Those are the people that we should go to and feel comfortable enough to confide in and ask for some help. We got to get out of that pride and being scared to ask for help, being scared to take the mask off and open ourselves up to be authentic. Open, because see, at that point, that is when the mission will start. That is when you will truly develop into who God created you to be. When you are ready to take off the mask, when you are ready to admit to yourself, you know what? I am not being true to me. I am not. I'm just living for everybody else. But y'all need to check out that show, Whose Standards Are You Living By? Somewhere down the line in the podcast line. But when you are honest with yourself, and I have, with this self-reflection thing, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's painful when you start looking at yourself. But we all need to do it. Because only when we decide to be honest with ourselves and self-reflect on who we are, where we've been, what we've been through, why we've been through it, why do we do the things we do, why we do it the way we do it, why do we deal with this person, why we, like when we start putting it all together, you will discover who you truly are. And trust me, you will be free, you will be happy, The moments will come along, obstacles, tower moments, they'll come along because that's life. But you'll go through it, and you'll go through it stronger. You won't revert back as to, oh my gosh, who am I? You will just start looking at the moment and asking, okay, what am I supposed to learn out of this? As opposed to, woe is me. That's how you know you're growing. So this show is getting a little long, but I guess I'm passionate about this probably because this is where I'm at in life. I'm really self-reflecting, and there are people that I would love to be in my life, but I'm just at a point in my life that I'm speaking my truth. And if a person don't want to treat me the way I know I deserve to be treated, or to respect me or honor me the way I deserve to be honored and respected, then I'm not going to be chasing after folk, whatever like that. I'm not doing that, because there are plenty of folk that's in my life, or plenty of new people that I will meet that will. And I say that for you too. You need to run with the people that respect you, that honor you, that support you, that support your gifts, your talents, that motivate you, that encourage you to become a better you, that know your value. Don't run from those people and go still be with the people that you just want to fit in because it's work not to. Run with the people that know who you are, that talk to you and make you want to be a better person every time you're around them, every time you talk to them. Those are the people that will help you discover who you are. You got to do the work yourself, but it's always good, instead of paying a therapist or paying a counselor or whatever like that, that only sit with you for an hour, that really don't know you, but they going by the books. It's always better to go, and you know in your heart who it is. You know the different people it is. You can't run to everybody for their opinion. That is just going to make it more confusing. Look at the person's life. Do they know who they are? Before you go sit down with them. Don't be sitting down asking somebody opinion that don't even know who they are, that's just out of order themselves. Then that's like the blind leading the blind. Be smart about it, Hit them up. Yo, I want to talk to you. I want to meet with you. I got some things on my mind, and I know that you're not a judgmental person. You always got my back or whatever. And let them know, look, I just really need your ear. Whatever you need to say. But guys, we have to figure out who we are in order for us to live our best life in this time-space reality. In order for us to not miss out on opportunities, not miss out on people, not miss out on relationships, not miss out on adventures and just life-changing experiences, all because we don't know who we are. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. This is a long show. I have a long show in a minute. I guess it was due. So hopefully y'all stay to the end. And I hope that, you guys really got a lot out of this show. This was a topic that I'm very passionate about, because like I said, I'm doing a self-reflection on me right now. So, and I know the difference in the person that I am now versus 2 years ago is amazing. Trust me, it's amazing. I'm so different, I feel like. I'm proud of me. But this is Adion, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, from the world, from some real bullshit. And make sure that you go purchase the books, Visionary Dreamer 90-Day Journal and Transform Your Life, the Visionary Dreamer Workbook, on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. And I'm so sorry. Just search up April Adion Williams. Should come up. Thank you guys for those who have purchased the books. Continue to send me the feedback. I appreciate all of you. I love you guys. This is Chronicles of Living podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. As extraordinary folk, doing the damn thing the best way we can. I love you guys. Until next Sunday, peace. Thank you for listening to Chronicles of Living, where we talk to everyday people about everyday things in the past, present, and future. And if you are pursuing your dreams, I'm proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live. To keep up with us, please visit chroniclesofliving.com. Until next time, this is Adion, your dream pusher. I love you guys.